Hello, I'm Sally, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Sally Wright. Okay, now um I'm in my bathroom, and tonight I'm gonna do a power sweat. What I call a power sweat. I have a trash bag. I don't know. Let me move this up. I hope you can see this. It's upside down. And see, sorry, see the yellow tab right there. That's the pull string. That way I know that that's the part that's the side that opens. Now my blood pressure's up, my heart rate's up, and I'm gonna do a few power sweats. And I would love to say, oh girl, you're gonna lose 30 pounds in no time. No, it doesn't work that way. I'm sorry to say. It's barely worth doing this, but this is kind of a damage control because I don't sweat. I don't sweat very well. So I fold a trash bag. This is a 39-gallon trash bag. And make sure it's unscented. Make sure it's not a deodorized trash bag or a scented trash bag, because that will irritate your skin. Now, I hope you can see that. The edges. The edges are lined up. And let me move this around. And got it on top of my washer here. I'm gonna start with the head and see if it's folded long ways in a rectangle in the square parts. You got to watch this seam. If you don't get this right, and make sure that you get the tapered seam, you'll ruin your bag. You have to start over. But the seam for the head, I do about maybe an inch above. See this crease? I do maybe about an inch above that. And I just cut it. I start about right there and just come on up. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to grab my scissors. Grab right there. Move over here a little bit so you can see that. Just grab this, and just a hair above the seam. This is the part for the head. Just come on up. And that's about all you need right there. See? Now, the holes for the arms, now about a couple of inches below the crease, and I just kind of come on around like that. Make sure you got these lined up. I go about an inch and a half below the seam. Where for the head, I go just above the seam. Just come on around. Okay. Now, I wanted to show you. See? Head. And the arms. Now, before I do anything else, this is long enough that it covers my belly, my bottom, and the tops of my thighs. And it's big enough, and it's baggy enough to where you have a little bit of room to move. And you have to adjust it before you put the rest of your gear on. And for my gear, well, there's my socks. I have a pair of thermal underwear. I'm gonna put these on beneath my beneath my sweatpants. I put those on, and I've got a flannel shirt. I will put that on over my t-shirt. And then I have a zipper hoodie. I prefer to use a regular hoodie, but I can't find it, so I just use this zipper hoodie that I bought specifically for this, because somewhere I have lost my hoodie. So, but I use this fleece zipper jacket. I just zip up and put the head on, and I want to tell you, I sweat. And the thing of it is, I don't sweat very often. And if you want the salves or ointments that you rub on your skin before you do that, you'll have to watch other videos. The herbal creams that you can make or buy, that you can order or whatever. I don't do that. They seem to break out my skin. So, and every time I do this, I get a clean bag every time, because odors and bacteria will build up in these. So it's kind of expensive, but yet, it's just an alternative to get excess fluid off my body, that, rather than just drink water, pee it out, drink water, pee it out, drink water, pee it out. It's like my body doesn't circulate to lose any other fluid. That's why I do this. Now I just gotta say, I have to say that if you are if you have panic attacks or anxiety attacks when you get too hot, if you are prone to sunstroke or heat stroke, if you get sick and vomit, if you have fainting spells if you get too hot, this is probably not your thing. Now, I do have anxiety attacks, but I do this in my home, and if, if I feel myself starting to have an anxiety attack, which I don't seem to get anxiety attacks from being too hot. If I feel like I can't breathe, I might have an anxiety attack. If something upsets me, I might have an anxiety attack. But I usually don't get anxiety attacks from being too hot. So thankfully, I don't have that. I don't throw up. I don't get massive headaches. But, I do this probably about once every 2 or 3 months for about 3 days in a row. And, I don't sweat. Now, I mean, yes, I sweat. Everybody sweats. But all my husband has to do is look at somebody cross-eyed and his face beads up with sweat. I just don't sweat like that. So I kind of have to make it work. But, you know, I would love to say, oh yeah, you're going to lose all that fluid and you're going to lose 30 pounds so quick. It doesn't really work that way. And the sad thing is the fluid will build right back up. But that's the sad thing. But, do this in your home. Do this in a space you feel safe in. In your home, in your bedroom, in your living room, wherever your safe space is. And I'm not talking about a liberal safe space. That's not what I mean. But in the space of your own home where you feel safe. And hopefully you are. Hopefully everybody is safe in their own home. And if you start showing signs of getting sick or having anxieties, headache, vomiting, fainting, massive anxiety attacks from getting too hot, this might not be your thing. That I just have to say that first and foremost. And I don't use this for weight loss. I use this for damage control. That's what I have to be specific about. This is damage control. And, if you want to try this, you can look up the other videos for ointments, or look them up online. There's creams and ointments and salves that you can rub on your skin before wrapping it up in plastic, making yourself sweat. Now, I would not do this outside in the sun. I would not go outside in the sun. I do this in the evenings when the sun's already down. And usually I'll have this on probably about an hour or two before I go to bed. I wear this to bed. I usually wake up at about 3 in the morning covered in sweat. And it might be wise to use actual bed pads, the professional sized bed pads, because you will wake up drenched in sweat. And take a shower. Usually I wake up, I have to go pee, and I wake up about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I am drenched in sweat. Well, all this comes off, and then the bag comes off, and it is just dripping. Sweat is just dripping out of this. And I'll do this about maybe 3-4 nights in a row. But you gain the fluid back very easily. That's the thing. But it helps get all the little patches of cellulite that don't circulate. It's the little ridges of fluid between the layer of fat that's over the muscles and the skin that don't circulate around the lower belly and the bottom and the thighs. And it's kind of nasty. On some women, it almost looks like a layer of cottage cheese beneath their skin. Some women, it looks like little pouches of fluid. On some women, it just looks like little creases, almost like you sat down on a heater grid with the little squares, but yet not quite formed like that. It's just little pouches that have stopped circulating. And so that's what I use it for. And I would love to say, oh yeah, oh girl, oh yeah, do this. You're gonna lose 20 pounds in 5 days. No, 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 no. This is not a weight loss gimmick. This is just damage control. And well, I just wanted to explain. And I want to stay off heart medications. I want to stay off blood medications, or blood pressure medications, as long as I can, and it's creeping up again. So I'm just going to do this for a few nights in a row. I just wanted to show you. I know this is a very poorly done video. I don't really know how to do anything yet. But I want to start showing things like this. I don't like showing my face. I really don't. I've got maybe a couple videos where I show my face. And I don't like showing other people. I won't be one of those that walks down the grocery store aisle and shows you everything I pick up, because I'm afraid of other people getting in my videos. And it's not a vanity thing. I don't mean it as vanity. Like, oh, how dare you be in my video. No, I'm doing this for safety, for my safety and yours. My sister and I, we sit and we binge watch these really weird shows, okay? These really weird shows. She likes the dark mysteries. Let's see. What's the name of some of those? Evil Lives Here. She watches those. And, let's see. Fear Thy Neighbor. You know, and let's see. Let's see. She's been watching pretty dark stuff. I can't even remember the names of some of them, but she watches all these crazy shows. So, I mean, we're tough enough to sit there and watch them during the day, but then, you know, I don't even like walking outside my own house at night. So, I'm afraid of, you know, even if I'm down an aisle, you know, by myself in Sam's or Walmart or Target or Dollar General or the grocery store or wherever it is I am, I'm afraid of, you know, somebody getting in the edge of a clip that doesn't want to be photographed or filmed. And so, I shouldn't be so paranoid. Other people do it. You know, a lot of homesteaders do it. But I'm kind of afraid of it. So, and I know there are such things as witness protection programs, things like that. I don't think it's so much around here. We don't hear about it. But you never know. You never know who someone is. If you don't know them personally, you don't know who they are. Or if they're in danger. Or what, what could be going on in their life. So, I just wanted to show you how I make this and explain why I do the sweating thing at night. I put this on. I put this on kind of like an upside down mini skirt. Oh dear. Yeah, kind of like an upside down mini skirt. I open this up and put the holes, put my arms through these holes and my head through the top hole, and I get everything situated. I tuck this beneath my undies and have my bottom and the tops of my thighs. And before I put everything else on, I always try to make sure there's an inch in the shoulders. Let me get this here. In the shoulders, I try to make sure there's at least an inch in both shoulders. See how that goes? And there's plenty of room for me to move around. And because once you start sweating, this bag will stick to you. It's like, it feels like cling wrap. And then I put on my my socks. Then I put on my sweatpants. Then I put on, I put on my thermal underwear. Then I put on my sweatpants. Then I put on my t-shirt. Then I put on my flannel shirt. Then I put on my hoodie. And then I go upstairs and maybe watch my videos for a couple hours, or maybe listen to a Bible tape or something. And yeah, I start sweating. And then I usually go to bed, and I leave this on for quite a while. I leave this on. I wake up about 3 in the morning, usually having to go to the bathroom, and then everything just comes off. I sit up in bed. I take off my hoodie, my flannel shirt, my t-shirt, and my pants go down, and then I take this bag off, and then I throw the bag away. I do not use it twice, because the bacteria that builds up in the bag can irritate your skin, the sweat. So I only use this once. Come downstairs, go to the bathroom, and then hop in the tub real quick. That's usually what I do. And I do this because I don't naturally sweat. And my bottom and my thighs look like cottage cheese gone wrong. It just does. It looks terrible. And I do not like wearing shorts. And I do not like I won't even wear a bathing suit, because it looks so bad. Nobody sees that. Nobody sees my legs. And I'm going to stop talking about it. So, I hope, I know this is kind of a boring video, but I wanted to explain, and I wanted to show you how I do this and why I do this and the pros and cons of doing this. This just gets a little bit of fluid out of places that no longer circulate. But the skin pores fill right back up. So, and it's not reasonable to do this every night, but it's something that's fairly cheap. It's easy to do. I don't have to go and build a big sauna to sweat, or you know, I don't have to turn the heat up to sweat. I just bundle up. I put this bag on, bundle up, and my body just sweats. So I would love to say that this is really good for losing weight. You're not going to lose 30 pounds. You might lose a few ounces in fluid, but you're not going to lose 30 pounds. But this is something you can do if you're going to start a diet. This might be like a kickoff to it. But I wouldn't do this on certain diets, I guess. Like if you're going to do the cabbage soup diet, you're probably not getting enough calories. So you would be a lot more apt to have fainting spells and things like that. So I wouldn't do this with the cabbage soup diet. That would be a huge no-no. But you might do this a couple of days before your cabbage soup diet, just to get a jump start on a little bit of the fluid that doesn't circulate through your system. But I would not do this and do the diet at the same time, because I'm not a fan of fainting, and I fainted before, so I don't. But I usually don't faint from getting too hot. But I would, being that malnourished, I think I would. So, I mean, this is just something for you to think about. This is just something that will help. It'll help get to all those little places that have just quit circulating fluid back into the body and has developed the nasty cellulite. So thank you for watching. You have a wonderful evening, and I'm going to get suited up, and we'll talk to you later.